Okay, so our 2024 award for forest management goes to Sylvia and Terry Swanson, the Swanson Family Tree Farm. So here's Sylvia and Terry. And I want to point out one thing. It was just pointed out to me tonight, a special little footnote, that if you look back in that brochure you have, your evening program, to 1964, you will see the name Gardner there for an award. It turns out that is Sylvia's dad. So she is a second generation award-winning tree farmer, and Terry is a third generation award-winning tree farmer. So another little note there, while you're looking at 1964, you will notice the name Fred Jorgensen. So one of the inspectors that inspected this tree farm was Jared Spogan, and that is his great-grandfather. So, enough history lesson. On we go. So the Swanson Family Tree Farm is a total of 60 acres, and it's located out on Lenz Road north of Winlock. And they purchased the first parcel there in 1999, and that was purchased by Sylvia and her late husband Bruce. And in 2004, they bought another 40 acres across the road, the original Lenz family homestead, for which the road is named. And in 2008, they did a little bit of logging there. We'll look at this. This is what's mapped out here as plots 6, 7, and 8 were logged and planted that following spring. And in 2015, Bruce and family began, and I want to use the term afforestation of former pasture lands. And for the people not familiar with that piece of forester jargon there, it refers to planting of former agricultural lands back into forest land. 2021, the last parcel was purchased for a total of 60 acres. And here is that 60 acres back in 1948. And you can see it's largely pasture lands with the exception of that one parcel of older timber. And this was all cleared. And some of it, that area, it looks like it was probably stump ranched as they refer to it. But over the years, this land began to return to forest land naturally, and we see that the northern portion here, a lot of that seeded in naturally, and then we'll look at this parcel in this corner and this corner. Those are those ones that were harvested in 2008 and replanted. We'll take a look at those. In this parcel, this is was harvested and planted back around mid-70s, and you can see in this photo that these former pasture lands, the plantings they've done are starting to show up from that 20,000 foot elevation or wherever that photo is taken. This is Sylvia and her late husband Bruce, and if you look at those little tiny seedlings in the background, so they did a great deal of this planting work occurred in 2015. There were many acres of this place put back into forest land that year, and you can see the mud on the knees there. This is do-it-yourself forestry here, and they got those trees out to a wonderful start. Terry has mapped out their forest lands here for us, and we're going to take a walkabout here in a minute and show you some. And he's put years that they were planted here. A lot of these trees were planted in that photo, same year as that photo was taken, 2015. So here's some 2016 plantings, and the rest of this place has been planted over time. And I want to point out one area here. Terry has denoted this as 10, here this plot. So this was an especially challenging parcel, and it had seeded some naturally, and it had a couple of attempts at planting it before, and he's just been relentless in getting this back into forestry. and we're going to take a little peek at it. Tree farmers who have had to deal with old pastures and trying to put them back into forest can really relate to how hard he's worked to do this, and he's conquered it, and we're going to look at that. Okay, so this is Sylvia and Terry, and the committee is about to take a little walkabout to their place, and behind them you can see some of those 2015 plantings, and they're looking really well. Okay, here's the committee standing between some 2015 plantings and some 16 plantings, and we'll get up closer here and look some more. Yeah, so you can see that they're all doing well. Now back in the back of these 2016 plantings, they've had a few challenges, but just been relentless in making it work. And you know, they fought all the same problems that all of us do in former pasture lands. They're fighting grass, they're fighting the voles, and might have compacted soil and all those other problems, but went back and did it over and over and over until they got it. So Terry maintains quite an extensive trail system on the property. It's certainly a nice little joy walk here, and we're going to walk on and take a look at more of it. Alrighty, so the whole trail makes a complete loop, and this is Sylvia on one of the two bridges. So you have to pass over a little creek here twice in the loop around the place. And again, but anyway, he maintains quite a trail system, as we mentioned. And this is through the 2008 plantings, and you can see that he likes to prune trees, and we'll see more of that. And here's Jared taking a look at some more of those 2008 plantings, and note all the pruning, and he's thinned these down. And here is the area that I really wanted to talk to you about. This is that plot number 10, and you can see in the background here that there's some, well, right here in the foreground there are trees, probably from that 2015 attempt to plant this. This was overrun by Scotch broom. Terry's just been relentless in conquering that Scotch broom, and I didn't see one stick of Scotch broom out there anymore. He's hit it with chemicals and mowed it with brush hogs, and then this area actually is mowed several times a year with a lawnmower. So that's grass control. The impressive part is, I want you to note, these are western red cedar in this end of the planting, and that's not Vexar, that's handmade chicken wire protection. That's serious protection, and I'd like to have him make me a few of those for my place. Another thing that's done out there on the Swanson tree farm, they do a lot of firewood. And they sell this in two different ways. They sell this firewood logs in stacks like this, and Terry does a lot of what some foresters would call TSI, timber stand improvement. He's thinning out low-grade trees like this and that type of thing. Deformed trees, dead trees, just general thinning. And then you people who have done the hard work know what that is. That's a rack for cutting firewood. And here's what he does. He cranked out 7 cords of this stuff and sold it off last year. And if you look behind the firewood pile, you see a lot of what he has to work with out there. This is land that has seeded in naturally onto old pastures and needs thinning in some areas, has various hardwoods encroaching, and anyway, he's just worked like a crazy man there, just making this better and better every year. So I would say that Terry and Sylvia certainly exemplify what we would call the stewards of the land. So With that, would you come forward, please?